What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be doing a car review on my 2015 Mustang GT.
My father told me when I was young, don't play with fire, be careful son. But we were flames and fell in love. We burnt the cities down, down. Before you learn to listen, you won't be lonely if you fall in love. Over and over again and again.
Alright guys, so the motor in my 2015 Mustang GT, as well as the 2011s through the 2016, 17, 18, is the 5.0 Coyote motor, which is basically what the car is made after, as it's a 302 Coyote kind of styling pack that the guy that owned the car before me put on it. So it's basically pushing around 400 horsepower with the racing tune, as well as the cold air intake. Not too much done to the car yet, but more to come. Alright guys, so the first thing that's done to my 2015 Mustang GT is we have a JLT cold air intake with a 93 octane racing tune by Bama Performance. We have a Ford Racing strut bar, an APR racing splitter. We also have aftermarket suspension on the vehicle to lower it on these 20-inch offset rims. Offsets, basically the back tires are wider than the front tires are, just to keep more traction, even though we only have like 400 horsepower. We also have a custom-made spoiler. I know it looks like the GT350R spoiler that you could buy off like American Muscle or something, but the guy that owned the car before me, he got the spoiler put on by somebody that offered it to him. At the back, we also have the 5.0 Coyote badge, which makes it obviously look like a GT350R or a GT350. But it's obviously not trying to represent that it is one. It is a 5.0, it is the 5-liter V8. Alright guys, so a pretty cool feature that's on the 2015 to 2016, and maybe even the 2017 Mustangs, is if you take your, pretty much your lock button, and you hit the unlock button and hold it down on the second time, the windows on the car will roll down. Just like that. The bad part about it is there is no way to put the windows back up after you've rolled them down, so they pretty much, you have to get in the car, manually start it, roll the windows back up, and then get back out if you're not planning on driving. Alright guys, so as far as the interior in the Mustang, this isn't the premium version of the Mustang GT, so my speedometer does not change colors. It doesn't have all the lighting features that the GT Premium does have. We do have the radio, the main radio that has your CD, your radio, your Bluetooth, your aux cords, as well as the different numbers for if you're trying to dial something. Below that, you have all your stuff for switching radio stations or any of that. Then you have your start and stop button, your hazard lights button, your traction control, and your steering control buttons. On the left side of the car, you have your light button. Basically, I leave mine on automatic just because it's easier to not forget about it or run your battery down. Up here we have the Bama Performance Tuner, which shows you your RPMs and other stuff that you may or may not want to see. We do have the manual version of the car, so it is a 6-speed manual, and if you want to go into reverse, you have to pull up on the little lever all the way to the right and up, and that's reverse. And then once you roll it out, let it down, that's first gear. So for the other aspects of the car, you have your USB port, your first cigarette lighter, as well as in the glove box, you have your aux cord, your second USB port, and your second cigarette lighter. Alright guys, so for some extra features that's in the 2015 Mustang GT is you have your different steering wheel options, which basically you have your sport steering, your comfort steering, and your normal steering. I usually leave my car on sport steering just because it has a tighter feel and you always have control of your car. Another thing is if you hit the traction control button once, it'll turn advanced track on, which is basically shutting off traction control. And then if you hit the traction control button twice, it turns on advanced track sport mode. You can also shut traction control all the way off by just tapping it, and launch control won't be available if you just have traction control off. So inside of your basic gauge modes, You have your tire pressure, your air fuel ratio, your boost vacuum, all these different gauges that tells you the temperature or what it's doing at that time. You also have your trip/fuel, which tells you about how many miles to E that you have, as well as your average miles per gallon, and telling you different things about how long you've driven the car. So inside of track apps, you have your acceleration timer, which tells you how fast you did your 0 to 30, 0 to 60, 0 to 100, as well as how fast you could do a quarter mile, eighth of a mile, all these things. It also has line lock, which is basically peeling out for, I think it's 10 seconds without your front wheels moving at all. You also have your launch control, which is basically set at the bottom right where it says LC, and you pretty much put your brake all the way to the floor. Then you put your car in first gear and you rev it up to that amount. You put your right foot to the, or your gas foot, the gas pedal, to the floor, and then you pop the clutch, and it's basically launching your vehicle. You also have the results of your car. The next thing you have is your driver assist. Your driver assist is like auto engine off, hill start assist, rear park aid. I don't use hill start assist because it shuts off your power that you're giving to your wheels until you're actually moving, which has basically caused me to almost stall my car multiple times, so I shut it off. In the settings, you just have your My Key, your display setup, which mine's not really that interesting because it doesn't do anything. And then you also have your vehicle, oil life, tire mobility, all these things that controls like the windows rolling down as you hit your unlock button twice and all that fun stuff. Alright guys, one of my favorite features of the car is that it has the Mustang since 1964, which is basically just a cool little feature that they did add to the Mustangs of this year. I also have I want to call it like a wrap, but it's not really a wrap. It's more of a vinyl that the person that owned the car before me put on the car to cover it. It's basically trying to look like carbon fiber, but it's honestly not carbon fiber. So for the things I do like about my 2015 Mustang GT is the ride for the car is really smooth with aftermarket suspension. It's not like very bumpy. You don't feel as many bumps like I did in my 2007 Mustang GT. Another thing that I really do like about the car is all the all the features that comes with it. Your rear view camera, your the windows rolling down on their own, the hidden sunglasses pocket. All those things add up when you're driving a newer car versus a 2007 Mustang GT. The car also, as it shifts a lot easier than my 2007 did. My 2007 was very notchy when trying to get into gear, whereas this one isn't that notchy. And obviously you're gonna love the sound the V8 makes when you hit it. Honestly, when you hit it in any car that's a stick shift, it's fun to drive, but when you hit it in this one, it's noticeably different than it was in my 2007 Mustang. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching my car review on my 2015 Mustang GT. There is a lot more to be posted on DosCarBros in between Quentin and I, with his FRS and his new installation of some new mods that he's going to do to his vehicle, and maybe some new modifications, even if they are the smallest modifications on my 2015 Mustang GT. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button and make sure to subscribe.
Okay guys, we're here in my 2015 Mustang GT, and here are some numbers where you can dial stuff. Okay guys, so it's really easy to install this tune in this 2015 Mustang GT. All you have to do is just press this button right here, and you're tuned and ready to go.